So now that I have this really cool climbing wall behind me, I need to get some holds on that so I can use it. But you might be kind of like me at this point, and I have no money left over. I'm kind of broke. Yeah, so I'm going to show you today how you can, with a little bit of work, a little bit of luck, and some time, make your own climbing holds. So I have done a video about this before in the past, the easiest way to make climbing holds, and I'm going to kind of do something similar to that. And normally when I'm building climbing holds like this, I've got a table saw, I've got a chop saw, I've got a drill press, I've got a nice benchtop belt sander. Those all make it really nice to make these easy climbing holds. But in this video, all I have is going to be a circular saw and some hand sandpaper. Oh yeah, and a drill, a hand drill. Sit back, relax. Thank you for watching Climber Dad. Let's get making some holes. This is a piece of alder that I got. Pretty nice 2-inch thick piece. This is gonna be some awesome holds. Ideally, I wouldn't want to cut this in half. I would want to just make 2 holds out of this piece, but I need to stretch it as far as possible, so I'm going to cut it in half. Also, I don't have clamps, so I'm going to screw this down to the board and cut it. We're setting the saw at 30 degrees. Do as I say, not as I do. Have you ever heard that saying? This is one of those times. Wear safety glasses. And if you don't have them, don't. But if you still do, squint like this as you're cutting. Gotta hold the saw really well. Bust out the sandpaper. The grains, how the grains are running through it here is actually going to make it much better if we tip it to the side, which will work just fine. We kind of want to get an idea on where we're going to have the bolts going through right now. We are going to try to get the screw down through where the bolt will be, and that way we don't have to worry about these screw holes. Where, oh where is my square? Where, oh where is my square gone? Oh, there it is. Center that hole, this will be the center of this hole. Back to straight, so it's a 90-degree cut. Here's where the wall will connect. So we're gonna have a hold kind of like this. We'll definitely cut it down some. I'm going to taper this back right here, like here, and fold these in a little bit, so we're gonna have a little bit less of a hold. Now to do this, where I'm tapering that in, I wanna flip it around, so I'm cutting with the saw blade is resting on the back side of the hold. A 30-degree angle on the saw, yet again. So here's what we're left with right now. Okay, it's almost like shaping foam, except you're using a skill saw or a chop saw or a table saw. Table saw is definitely easier. So now we've got this hold that's kind of coming to shape here. We're going to go ahead and screw it back down, face up now and start kind of working some magic with sandpaper. That's gonna take forever. This is where an angle grinder would come in really, really handy. Round every corner. Switch out to a little bit more finer sandpaper. Not a necessary step, but it's a nice step. So here we are. There's some blemishes in here. There's like I got a saw mark right here where the saw blade was getting away from me a little bit. I haven't done any sanding to this surface, which is where you're going to be grabbing. That's okay, it's at 30 degrees. So now the step is we're going to take this bit, which is a 3/4 inch countersink bit, and we're going to put it in here. We're going to drill this out down to this surface, and that's going to be a recess for our bolt head. We're using martini bolts on wooden holds. I think that's the easiest way to go when you're making wooden holds. And then we're going to use this bit, which is a 7/16 inch paddle bit for the bolt. Now we're using 3/8 inch bolts, but that's going to allow us a little bit of room for imperfections that it's a 7/16. So we don't, the bolt's not going to bind on there, it's not going to twist the T-nut if this hole isn't perfectly straight. Okay, now this guy. Make sure you have a good hold on it and you're keeping your hands away from this. Go slow first. It's perfect for what you would see on a home climbing wall. Now, I don't think that at this stage, this isn't like quality that you would sell, but a little bit more sanding, a little bit more angle right here, and it would be a really nice hold that you could see for sale. So all that's left now, we've got our bolt, our martini bolt. There's this guy right here. It's also called a fluted head. I'm gonna put that on. And come back in a little later today and tighten that down and have a nice, good climbing hold. Woo!